The GTP class drivers lineup are overpowered. Huge surprises in drivers lineup for Rolex 24 at Daytona. Imsa released recently the preliminary entry list for the first round of 2024 season with 60 cars confirmed. So how is the entry list for while? Let's check now in this video. So first we will talk about the GT class, which is gonna have 25 cars confirmed. The first entry is the number 12 Vassar Sullivan Racing with Lexus, and the drivers are Frankie Montecalvo, Parker Thompson, Aaron Tellitz, and the fourth drive to be announced later. The second and third team entry are AWA, which migrates from LMP3 class and will have 2 new Corvette GT3 cars. On number 13 will be Ori Fidani, Matthew Bell, Lars Kern, and the fourth driver to be confirmed later. And on 17, the drivers are Anthony Mantella, Nico Verone, Thomas Merrill, and Charlie Eastwood. The fourth car is number 21 AF Course with Ferrari 296 GT3. The drivers are Simon Mann, Francois Heriot, Keiko Solino, and one to be announced. The fifth car is also a Ferrari 296 with 023 Triarci Competizione. Alessio Ravera, Onofrio Triarci, Ricky Agostini, and Charlie Scardina are the drivers' lineup. The sixth car is number 27 Heart of Racing Team with Aston Martin Vantage AMR GT3 Evo with Zachary Robichon, Roman De Angelis, Marco Sorensen, and Ian James as the drivers. The seventh car is number 32 Courthoff Preston Motorsports with Mercedes AMG GT3 Evo. This team decided to maintain the same lineup from 2023 season with Mike Skeen, Michael Grenier, Kenton Koch, and Maximilian Getz. The eighth entry confirmed is number 34 Conquest Racing, which is returning to Imsa using a Ferrari 296 GT3. The drivers' lineup is Manny Franco, Cedric Spizzazzulli, Alessandro Balzan, and a fourth to be confirmed. The next one is Andretti Motorsports number 43. Unlike in 2023 season, which they used an Aston Martin GT3 car, in 2024 will be Porsche 911 GT3R. At this moment, the drivers confirmed are Jarrett Andretti, Gabby Chavez, and Scott Hargrove. The next entry is Magnus Racing number 44 with an Aston Martin Vantage GT3 Evo car. The drivers for while will be John Potter, Andy Lally, and Spencer Pumperly. We can have an expectation that Niki Tim may be the fourth driver to complete the lineup for Daytona. Now the WTR Andretti number 45. Unlike in 2023, when they used an Acura NSX GT3 Evo 22 operated by Racers Edge Motorsports, in 2024 the car will be a Lamborghini Huracan Evo 2. Only Kyle Marcelli and Danny Formal were confirmed as the drivers. More too will be announced later. The next team is Settler Racing number 47. Another one that will operate the Ferrari 296 GT3 car. For while the drivers confirmed are Roberto Lacorti, Giorgio Cernaggiato, and Eddie Cheever III. The next one is the number 53 MDK Motorsports with a Porsche car. This will be an only Daytona entry. No drivers were announced for a while. Its full season sister car number 86 is also confirmed with Anders Fjordebach and Karonli. Now the number 55 Proton Competition with Ford Mustang GT3. Like the 53, this will be also an only Daytona entry, and no drivers were confirmed until now. The next team is Windward Racing number 57 with Mercedes AMG GT3 Evo. The drivers' lineup is Russell Ward, Daniel Morit, and more too to be announced later. The next entry is number 60 Iron Lynx with Lamborghini Huracan GT3 Evo 2, for while the team confirmed Claudio Schiavone and Matteo Cressoni. Its sister car number 83 Iron Dames is also confirmed. The female team will use a Lamborghini Huracan GT3 Evo. The drivers confirmed for while are Michelle Gatting, Sarah Bovey, and Rahel Fry. The fourth drive will be confirmed soon, and we don't know if it will be Dorian Pun. Now the Gradient Racing number 66. This will be the only team to operate the Acura NSX GT3 Evo 22. for while only 2 women were confirmed with Sheena Monk and Catherine Lay. The next one is number 70 Inception Racing with McLaren 720S GT3 Evo. Brendan Irad, Frederick Schandorf, Ollie Milroy and Tom Gamble will be the drivers for Daytona. The next team is number 78 Forte Racing with Lamborghini Huracan GT3 Evo 2. Only Misha Goldberg and Laura Spinelli are confirmed until this moment. The next entry is Lone Star Racing number 80. This is also a only Daytona entry and will use a Mercedes-AMG GT3 Evo. No one was confirmed until now. The next team is Kelly Moss with Riley number 91 with Porsche car. No one is confirmed until this moment. The next entry is Turner Motorsport. It's the only team in GTD class to operate a BMW M4 GT3. This team has a driver lineup with Robbie Foley, Patrick Gallagher, Michael Dinnan and Jens Klingman. Unfortunately, it's a shame not seeing Bill Oberlin in this lineup. And last one is Wright Motorsports number 120 with Porsche car. No one for a while was confirmed. So let's go GTD Pro class, which is gonna have 13 cars confirmed. The first team confirmed is the 2023 GTD champion Paul Miller Racing, which is migrating to Pro class in 2024. The team will be using a BMW M4 GT3. The 2023 duo Brian Sellers and Madison Snow remain on the team. So here comes 2 news with Neil Verhagen, a young BMW factory driver with a great potential to be a star driver, and Sheldon van der Linde, who is confirmed only for Daytona round and will not be a GTP class like was in 2023. The second team is Corvette Racing by Pratt Miller Motorsports, which will have 2 new Corvette Z06 GT3R cars. So first the number 3 with Antonio Garcia, Alexander Sims, and Daniel Juncadella. And the number 4 will have Miki Katzberg, Tommy Milner, and Earl Bamber. The third confirmed team is Thaf Motorsports number 9. The Canadian team will use in 2024 the McLaren 720S GT3 Evo instead of Porsche car, which was used in 2023 season. And because of brand change, the driver lineup changed also compared to last season. Maven Kirchhofer, Oliver Jarvis, James Hinchcliffe, and Alexander Rossi will be the drivers. The fifth entry is Vassar Sullivan Racing number 14. Like in GTD class, they will also use the Lexus car, and for while the driver lineup is the same from Petit Le Mans 2023 edition with Ben Barnicoat, Jack Hawksworth, and Kyle Kirkwood. A fourth driver will be announced later. The next team confirmed is Iron Lynx number 19, which will be only Daytona entry considering that this team will be part of GTP class in next Michelin Endurance Cup rounds. The Lamborghini Huracan GT3 Evo 2 will be used. The driver lineup is with Mirko Bortolotti, Jordan Pepper, Andrea Caldarelli, and Frank Pereira. The next one is Heart of Racing Team number 23. It's the second confirmed team, which will be as in GTD Pro classes. Heart of Racing will use an Aston Martin Vantage AMR GT3 Evo. The 2023 duo Alex Riberas and Ross Gunn remains on the team, and Mario Farnbacher joins from Acura Operation. The next team is number 62 Risi Competizione with Ferrari 296 GT3 car. There is no news in this team, and the driver lineup will have the 2023 24 Hours Le Mans winner Alessandro Pierguidi. Daniel Serra and Davide Riggin return also to the team. Now the new entries to GTD Pro class with Ford Multimatic Motorsports. The Blue Oval brand is back to GT Pro class with 2 cars Mustang GT3. First the number 64, which will have for a while Mike Rockefeller and Harry Tinknell. And the number 65 will have the duo 2016 24 Hours of Le Mans GT Pro class winners Dirk Muller and Joey Hand, and 2 more drivers will be confirmed later. The next team confirmed is Sun Energy 1 number 75. This will be the only one to operate the Mercedes-AMG GT3 Evo car in GTD Pro, considering that WeatherTech Racing will not return to 2024 season. No drivers were confirmed until this moment. The next entry is number 77 AO Racing, which was famous for Rexy livery in 2023. This team, like Paul Miller Racing, is migrating from GTD to GTD Pro class. They will still use the Porsche car. Sebastian Priaulx remains on the team, and the 2022 Porsche Carrera Cup Germany champion Lauren Heinrich joins to AO Racing. More 2 drivers will be added later. And finally, the number 92 Kelly Moss with Riley, who is also migrating from GTD to GTD Pro class. It's another team which will also use Porsche 911 GT3 or car. No drivers were announced for a while. So now the LMP2 class, which is gonna have 12 cars confirmed. The first entry is the number 04 CrowdStrike Racing by APR, and the drivers are George Kurtz, Colin Braun, who comes from Meyershank Racing, and 2 drivers to be announced later. The second and third team entry are United Autosport, the only one to have 2 cars in LMP2 class. On number 2, we're gonna have Ben Keating, Ben Hanley, Nico Pino, and 4th driver to be announced. On number 22, the drivers are Dan Goldberg, Paul Di Resta, Marino Sato, and 1 to be announced. The 4th entry confirmed is number 8 Tower Motorsports. For while no drivers were revealed. The 5th car is number 11 TDS Racing with Stephen Thomas, Mikkel Jensen, Hunter Macaria, and Charles Malise. The next entry is number 18 Era Motorsport. The drivers are Dwight Merriman, Ryan Dalziel, Christian Rasmussen, and 1 to be announced. Another entry is number 20 High Class Racing with Dennis Anderson and Seth Lucas, confirmed until this moment. More 2 drivers will be confirmed later. Now a very curious entry with number 33 Sean Creech Motorsport, which is gonna use a Ligier JSP 217. The only team to not use an Orica 07. For while only Joao Barbosa and Lance Wilsey were confirmed. Now the 52, which will be Inter Europol, making a partnership with PR1 Matthias and Motorsports in Imsa 2024 season. For while only Jakub Smichowski is confirmed. The next one is number 74 Riley, which comes from LMP3 class. Gar Robinson, Felipe Fraga, and Josh Burden were confirmed until this moment. The 4th driver will be confirmed later, and there is an expectation to be the Brazilian driver Felipe Massa. The next entry is number 88 AF Course, which we're gonna have Luis Perez Company, Lilo Wadu, Nicholas Nielsen, and 1 to be confirmed. And finally, the last one, the number 99 AO Racing with PJ Hyatt and Paul Luchatin, confirmed until this moment. A curiosity, this car will not have a Rexy livery. And finally, the GTP, which is the top class in Imsa and is expected to be huge competitive in 2024 edition of Rolex 24 at Daytona, considering that all the 4 remaining manufacturers are more ready than they were in 2023. The same 10 cars which competed in 2023 season in Road America, Indianapolis, and Road Atlanta will be in Daytona. So starting with Cadillac cars. The first one is the number 01 Cadillac Chip Ganassi operation. This will be the only team to not change the driver lineup compared to 2023 season. Ringer van der Zonde, Sebastian Bourdais, and Scott Dixon remain on the team. And the second Cadillac is the number 31 Whelen Engineering Action Express Racing. The 2023 GTP champion will have a change in its driver lineup with Pipo Derani, Jack Aitken, who now will be Imsa full season driver, and Tom Blomqvist, who comes from Meyershank Racing. Now we will talk about the Acuras. In 2024 will be different because the Wayne Taylor Andretti will use 2 ARX 06 cars instead of 1. The number 10 remains from last season. The drivers will be Ricky Taylor, Felipe Albuquerque, Brandon Hartley, and Marcus Ericsson. And this is curious because Brandon Hartley belongs to Toyota in WC Hypercar and will be back in Imsa driving an Acura, which belongs to Honda Group. This is only possible because the both manufacturers don't fight each other on tracks. And another interesting entry is Marcus Ericsson, who joined to Andretti in IndyCar Series, and he was confirmed after Alexander Albon was not anymore able to be in Rolex 24 at Daytona. And the second WTR entry is the number 40. The drivers will be Jordan Taylor, Louis Delatraz, Colton Herta, and Jenson Button. This car belonged to Meyer-Shank Racing in 2023 season and was transferred to WTR because Imsa decided not race in Imsa in 2024 season. And about the driver lineup, there is two interesting facts. The first is Colton Herta, who races for Andretti in IndyCar Series. But this was unexpected because he is listed as a BMW factory driver in 2023. Could he maybe leave the BMW? And the second fact is the 2009 F1 champion Jenson Button. This was surprised because we were expecting that he could join to JDC Miller Motorsports, considering that he was there in last Petit Le Mans. In a few moments we will talk about this team. So let's go to Porsche operations, which will have 4 963 cars in Daytona. The first team we will talk is the Porsche Penske with 2 cars. Firstly, let's talk about the number 6. In my opinion, this is the best lineup in GTP class, which has Matthew Jaminet, Nick Tandy, Kevin Estre, and Lawrence Vanthor. This will be a strong lineup because Jaminet and Tandy are fast drivers, and will have reinforcements from Estre and Vanthor, who are in my opinion the best Porsche drivers in WEC hypercar class. The number 7 also will have an interesting driver lineup. The 2023 duo Matt Campbell and Felipe Nasser remains on the team and will be joined by Joseph Newgarden, who will have a second chance to drive the Porsche 963 after his debut in last Petit Le Mans edition, and Frederick Makowiecki, who belongs to Porsche Penske WC operation. Now let's go to the customer teams. The first customer team is the number 5 JDC Miller Motorsports. The only remaining driver from 2023 season is Tijman van der Helm because Mike Rockenfeller transferred to GTD Pro with Ford Multimatic Motorsports. So here comes the first news with Richard Westbrook, who left WC Cadillac Racing and joins to JDC Miller for Imsa full season. Phil Hansen will be third driver because he joins the team for endurance rounds. And here comes a very interesting fact because the fourth driver will be Ben Keating. Yes guys, you didn't hear wrong. One of the best bronze drivers in the world will gain a chance to drive a GTP car in Imsa, because unlike it is in WC hypercar, which the bronze drivers are not allowed to drive, the GTP class is the opposite. And another interesting thing is that Ben Keating will be driving for 2 teams in Rolex 24 at Daytona, with the number 5 JDC Miller in GTP, and also in number 2 United Autosports in LMP2. And this is allowed in IMSA regulations. And the second Porsche customer entry in GTP class is the number 59 Proton competition. For while only Jean-Maria Bruni and Neil Yanni are confirmed in this car, a third driver will be announced later and will replace Harry Tinknell, who will be part of GTD Pro class in Ford Mustang. And finally, let's talk about the BMW. The German manufacturer will return with 2 remaining M hybrid cars from 2023 season and is expected to be much better than was in last year. The first entry is number 24, which will have only 1 remaining driver from 2023 season, Augusto Farfus. The Brazilian driver will be joined to Jesse Krohn and Dries Vanthor. The both drivers will make their debuts in an LMDH car in Daytona, and this could mean that Krohn will probably be Imsa GTP full season driver, and Dries Vanthor may join to WRT team in WC hypercar class. And finally, the number 25, which will remain the 2023 duo drivers Connor De Filippi and Nick Yellowly. The third driver is also an LMDH debutant Maxime Martin. And there is a detail that BMW RLL team will announce more 2 drivers later. Besides being a RLL operation, who's gonna have the priority to choose the remaining drivers is BMW and not Bobby Rahal. And with that, We must conclude that GTP class will be very competitive considering that all the 4 manufacturers will have improved LMDH cars compared than they were in 2023 season and will be more prepared to compete in Daytona. So for me, it's wrong to point out favoritism to win the race. So those are the 60 entries which will be competing the Rolex 24 at Daytona in 2024. Which class will be more competitive? Who do you think that will have more chances to win in their respective classes? So tell your opinion on comment sections below. And don't forget to subscribe to channel to not lose more videos about Imsa and WC. We see you on next videos.